Like a dark horse galloping at a thunderous speed, the Polish economy looks all set to knock out competition in the Eurozone right out of the economic arena. On the radar today are the multiple facets of Europe's sixth largest economy that we'll be putting under the microscope, kicking off with the success of the Poles' current economic status. Why Poland is an investment magnet, how human capital is an asset. Let's peel back the layers to unravel the real reason behind Poland's near-miraculous economic rise. The Polish economy stands robust like Everest when it comes to climbing up the slippery slope of economic success. An average GDP growth of 4.1% per year, as cited by a KPMG Poland report, is proof of its steady ascent to the pinnacle of economic prosperity. Eurostat data in 2022 presented a palpable picture with figures indicating a powerful plummet down the deep canyon of unemployment by 0.5%, plunging it to a rate of 2.9%. That's quite a dramatic drop from the unemployment data collected in 2021, where rates stood at 3.4%. Poland's unemployment rate presents its economy with a glowing green flag as it zips ahead of the Eurozone in the unemployment race. Countries in the Eurozone boast a risky rate of unemployment, currently at 6.8%. While most European nations struggle to steady their financial footing in the post-COVID economic playground, it seems that Poland has its economic act down pat. Playing the game of economic roulette like a pro, it emerged as victor. What's the secret sauce that adds pizzazz to Poland's rare financial success story? Kicking off the list is a not-so-surprising reveal. The country clearly has a few strategic trump cards and economic aces up its sleeve. Case in point, the implementation of its focused fiscal policy. A recent KPMG analysis points in the direction of Poland's fiscal policy being a crucial make-or-break factor that fueled its rise among the economic pecking order as late as last year. Of course, there were a host of other vital ingredients that contributed to the favorable financial mix. Another catalyst and change agent was the Russia-Ukraine crisis, giving the profitable Polish economy a powerful push in the right direction. The arrival of Ukrainian refugees pumped up Poland's lagging labor market. Poland's economic arsenal wields a number of potent weapons that makes it a good breeding ground for investment opportunities. A massive feather in Poland's cap is its macroeconomic framework and economic stability. Therein lies its financial flex. The Polish Investment and Trade Agency cites Poland's GDP per capita as towering above the EU's average by as much as 70%, and here, purchasing power parity is the deciding factor. The World Bank overview paints a productive and potent picture of its economy's well-diversified portfolio. The Polish economy reeled back from the impact of a few hard knocks, which resulted in a small shrinkage in its GDP by a mere 2% in 2020. Was Poland able to rise up from this setback? The answer to that is a resounding yes. Bearers of resilient economic muscles, the Polish were quick to push back and bounce, landing upright firmly on their well-planted feet. Its GDP growth skyrocketed to 5.1% in 2021 and vanquished the projected target of 4.6% in 2022, a significant signal showcasing recovery. Its current credit ratings outlook by Moody's, S&P, and Fitch also gets a thumbs up and is deemed stable. The reality that the nation's economy has steadily moved on well-oiled wheels for the last 25 years is quite laudable. So, what are some of the major drivers of this fast-moving economy streaming full speed ahead on Hot Wheels? 2 words: domestic consumption and exports. Poland's massive economic restructuring and overhaul, a project that was cooking in its economic oven since 1989, acquired a golden hue of perfection and turned into a lucrative economic pie that the world economy wanted to dig into. Polish goods and companies are heavily intertwined with European production chains and occupy a prominent place in the European trade roadmap. Last year alone, Poland's exports added up to €343.8 billion. That's an increase of 19.3% from the previous year, while its imports added up to €363.7 billion. So what forms the bulk of its imports and exports? Among the top contenders are equipment, machinery, as well as means of transport. Underpinning the core of Poland's bustling economic infrastructure are solid pillars and strong governance systems that provide a safety net, preventing it from buckling under. Even the massive crunch of the 2008 to 2010 economic recession could not push Poland's economy off the financial edge. Poland is a hotspot teeming with advancement with rapidly growing industries such as the automotive, tech, and aerospace industry, along with the country's defense sector. Stay connected in order to stay current with the latest economic news emerging from Poland. PAIH paints a potent picture of Poland's economic palette in vivid colors, promoting its fertile financial terrain for long-haul investment planning, a key factor behind its growth. When all is said and done, all things progress, boil down to the two Ps, rock-solid public finance and predictability. It's an unshakable economic reality. Poland is on the fast track to becoming an investment magnet, pulling in foreign investors because the keys to unlock exalted economic doors are firmly within its financial grasp. Its mergers and acquisitions market is picking up pace after a slump during the coronavirus pandemic. The years 2021 and 2022 correspondingly experienced 189 and 2016 cross-border transactions. The Polish know how to deal their cards right by presenting a number of enticing incentives and grants to attract would-be investors instantaneously. A supportive financial pat on the back, in the form of incentives, is offered to businesses that draws from both national as well as EU funds. More practical power moves are also made by the powers in Poland to empower investors, such as tax exemptions, that go hand in hand with pouring money into the Polish investment zone. Tax relief is also offered like a soothing hot towel in order for R&D activities to culminate and thrive. There are several other programs such as the Horizon Europe program that offer a soothing monetary shade to those looking to add to Poland's economy. Poland is lapping up major accolades in the global arena when it comes to watering the seeds of its business-friendly environment. In order to climb the ladder of economic stability, the top factors that should be ticked off every economy's to-do list are sound regulations coupled with the certainty of business transactions. Poland has nailed and mastered both. While there's no instrument that would enable us to take Poland's economic temperature, there are some bodies that have crowned Poland on various fronts of boosting businesses based on common indicators. In a ranking that pits 184 economies against each other, Poland landed a pretty decent scorecard, coming in at 47th place in the Heritage Foundation's 2023 Index of Economic Freedom. It scored 67.7 out of 100. The Heritage Foundation also anointed Poland with high honors in the international trade category, notching up points for investment along with the flag of financial freedom that it waves freely, fanning growth. In the amphitheater of international trade freedom, few can outwit Poland. It has a stellar approach. Not only are the payment of duties wiped clean from the slate of trade between EU members, but non-tariff barriers are also a strict no-go area. The European Commission holds the gavel when it comes to directing trade policy with other nations. Incidentally, Poland also has the golden ticket to the EU single market. On ground that translates into businesses in EU countries operating as if they fall under the umbrella of a single country. These are some of the boons and variables that have pumped vital oxygen in Poland's economic veins, bolstering growth as well as productivity. Follow us to keep your finger on the very economic pulse of the globe. The country has a top-tier workforce that is not only top-notch in terms of skill, but is also well-educated. When the EU opened its doors to Poland in 2004, it also opened the floodgates for Poland to usher in unprecedented economic opportunities and growth. Speculations are rife that Poland might dethrone Southern Europe in the living standards, as well as productivity stakes in the not-too-distant future. Britain is also feeling the heat. The British press is speculating that Poland's living standards might start to run parallel to Britain. It's only a matter of time. The clock is ticking. Being overtaken by Poland is a familiar and noisy chant in these quarters. Once upon a time, many Polish workers had departed to greener pastures in Germany and the UK. However, Brexit reversed some of the fallout, prompting these workers to leave the UK. While the recent entry of about 1.3 million Ukrainian refugees has presented a somewhat double-edged sword to the Polish economy, this flood of migrants has boosted the labor force by 500,000, a win-win situation for Poland. Poland's GDP per capita is touching $19,000, a level up that will quickly push it to reach the GDP per capita of Greece, standing at $20,000, or Portugal, which currently stands at $24,000. There are other factors, of course, which have provided the fuel for the country's meteoric rise. The EU has poured in copious amounts of cohesion funds amounting to a staggering €213 billion since Poland ambled in the corridors of the EU. The Poles have been savvy recipients, allocating funds in all the right places, namely their agricultural sector as well as infrastructure, something that has benefited their economy manifold. OECD Secretary-General Matthias Cormann has also propped up Poland's credentials through his resounding praise. Cormann referred to Poland's massive rise in living standards as impressive. Moreover, he also paid a glowing tribute to the country's unshakable economic fundamentals. While Poland does have its own set of economic obstacles to surmount, such as its aging population and inflation, the future still holds the promise of a brighter outcome. What's your take on Poland's progress and prosperity? Share your thoughts with us and press the like button. See you!